Hello everybody, welcome back to a video where I talk over a game, and this is the updated version of Pal World. So this is the 1.0 version, so you may occasionally see a pal that you may not have seen. That is if you're interested in gaming at all. Anyway, let me move on from that topic. So I was thinking, I have been doing a lot of cleaning up, and I've talked about that in a couple of videos previously as well. And while I was doing that, I kept coming back to the same thing. I need a system where I can see what I have by simply opening a drawer or just being able to look through the thing because it's transparent, and then preferably I have a transparent drawer where I can see what's in it and access it easily as well. And that is all because if I don't see it, then I think I don't have it or I don't know where it is. And I've been tackling a few different places in my house now. I already showed the toolbox and the bathroom situation. I also replaced the little rack that I used to have under my coat rack where I had like hats and scarves and things. Replaced that with another one of those large plastic shelving units. That's been a major improvement, even though it's a tiny corner in the house. It's made a huge difference. As well as all of my yarn. I've been going through that as well because I had yarn in different bags and boxes and corners all over the place. I got myself 3 of those plastic shelving units. I put all the yarn that I had in a big pile and sorted through it, and now I only really have the yarn that is actually made out of wool and a bunch of chenille, which is what I use to make the rugs that the dog likes to lay on. Everything else got put in bags and left the house. And then I look around the house and I go, well, actually, it doesn't look like a lot has changed. I've cleared out the bookcase, I've done the toolbox things, I've cleared out that cabinet as well, and all the different places that I just mentioned that I was working on. But it still kind of looks the same, and that is because I was really good at putting things out of sight. I had some very creative ways of storing things without them being visible, but if it's not visible, like I said, I don't know that it's there. I kind of know that it's there, but I'm not entirely sure what it is that I got in there or how much of it is. And then when I pull all the yarn out, when I pull all the yarn out and I put it on a big pile, I look at it and go, wow, this has been sitting there for years and I didn't even really look at it. I kind of knew it was there, but because it wasn't right in front of my face, I didn't know how much it was exactly, and I kept buying new colors or yarn, thinking, oh, I'm going to make something out of this, and then I started on it, and then I kind of abandoned it, and it went in one of those little corners, and then a couple weeks or a couple months later, the same thing would happen, and I would have another bit of yarn stashed away somewhere else. And though I cannot really see the big changes with all the yarn gone, it does feel calmer knowing that all those areas were cleared out. And that's kind of how I'm going through the house at the moment. There's a few areas that I have tackled. There's a few areas that I know I still need to tackle. And then there's other things that are happening as well. Like when I clear one area out, I end up with empty boxes that I can then use for another area. For instance, a lot of the yarn that used to be in this really big tub, which has a couple of lids on top so I can close it off. And at the time, that was a good idea to put all my yarn in there, but the rest of the yarn kept growing outside of the box as well. Now that that is empty, I'm looking at the blankets that I store on top of my clothing cabinet, which are for winter time. It's in the middle of summer, so I don't need them. And they're currently just sitting on top of the cabinet, kind of catching dust. Some of them have like a plastic cover on them, but still it's not a great storage situation, particularly because it kind of makes it look very messy on top of my dresser or clothing cabinet. So then the next plan is to get all of that down and put that inside of the big plastic tub that goes into the attic, and I only really need to open it when it's time to switch seasonal stuff. And then all the summer blankets and things can go in there, and the winter stuff can come down. And usually while I'm sorting through one of these areas, I look at what I really want to keep. So I'm also bringing a lot of trash bags out to the bin lately. I think in total I must have put like 15 to 20 bags into the underground storage space by now. Or underground bin, really, it's not really a storage space. A lot of it happens sitting there for years without me even thinking about it or touching it, which is how I know that I don't need it. And a lot of it is also in such a state that other people don't need it either, so it just needs to go. And not only does that free up space, it also frees up mental capacity, because there's something very satisfying about putting it in a bin bag and getting it out of the house. Like, this is gone, this is no longer in my way, I don't have to think about it anymore, I don't have to look at it anymore, and it clears up space that I can use for other things. And I was thinking, like, since we have hyperfocus, which usually means we look at some things and not at others, it might be a good idea to put something in an area where you often pass by that you'll definitely see, that reminds you to take a critical look around you to see what you could potentially get rid of, and then only really look at a small section of the room, or a drawer of a dresser or something small that you can tackle in an hour or so, because our focus probably will wane after that. If you want, you can make a list, and if you want to introduce some type of gaming element, maybe put all the things that you want to clear out, all the small sections, on a tiny note, crumple it up, put it in a bowl. When you have energy, pick one of the things out of the bowl and go, oh, I'm going to clear out the bathroom cabinet today, top drawer. Grab a bin bag, go for it. If you like, you can set yourself a timer as well, because I know we work really well under some type of time crunch, deadlines and stuff like that. So whatever you need to do in order to get started, make sure to do that. Give yourself points. Give yourself a snack after or during, whichever motivates you most. And just really go to town, like tackle a little bit here and there. And then the other side, make sure not to bring too much new stuff in either, because you kind of have to stop that flow and let everything else that you don't need flow out of the house first. Then take stock of what it is that you're actually going to use, only by that. That's the plan. Now I know we're not always going to be able to keep to that perfectly, but we can try our best. And maybe you have other tips that other people might like to try. Make sure to put them in the comment section below. In any case, I want to thank you for listening. I hope to see you in the next video, and bye-bye for now.